Hello guys, it's Theo Goff here, host of the Conquering Dyslexia podcast. And now today I want to do an episode about about hard times, about when we go through some challenging, rough times in our lives. And maybe a few solutions and maybe a few guidance, and it's really about those role models out there. It's about those people who can help us. It's about searching and finding people who can give us the strategy, give us the technique, give us sometimes the inspiration or the belief that it can be done, but mostly give us a way forward to make some sort of progress in this struggle we're going through. And that's what today I want to talk to us about, and hopefully give a few resources. And I want to start something on this podcast, a new little thing that I'm really excited to share you guys about. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, guys, and please like, share. I love it when you comment. I love it when you message me. Please email me at conqueringdyslexia at gmail.com. I'd love to hear your story, love to hear how the journey has went for you so far. So anyway, guys, I know I rambled, but enjoy today's episode. So the big question is this: how can dyslexics like us create a place, a community, a tribe where people at any stage of life can come and solve any challenge, amplify their strengths, and ultimately help them become who they were meant to be, or in other words, conquer their dyslexia? That is the question, and this show is the answer. My name's Theo Goff, and welcome to the Conquering Dyslexia podcast. So, today I want to talk about when we go through hard times, when it's challenging, when it's like, I don't know how I could get to the end of this, or how the hell am I supposed to study for this test, or my children's database to these challenges and the school's fighting me, and how do I get a proper diagnosis, and how do I get a proper support system so that not only my child has the support in school, the child has to know the skills to thrive outside of school without the extra help, without the extra support. Or it's just like, how do I find help? I find out I'm dyslexic later on in life, and this is the reason for all these challenges. How do I deal with it emotionally, and how do I get the right help and support now and for the rest of my life, so I can deal with this now, I can understand my dyslexia at a better level, so it's more usable. And we come up with all these challenges throughout our life, as we're adults with dyslexia, we're children with dyslexia, we're parents of children that have dyslexia, we think they have dyslexia, they have difficulties. And how do you search through this journey and really find the right help? Now, that's what I want to talk to us today about. It's been on my mind. I'm very, very excited to chat to us. So I want to start with this podcast. But before that, I would say the reason why I want to bring this up, and the reason why it's been on my mind, is because, yes, I've got this idea about starting something that'll be very, very cool. It's very excited. We've done a bit of the groundwork for that. But also, it's like, I'll be completely honest, right now, as you probably know, I'm teaching in Thailand, and now I've moved to a different location. So before, I was in a place called Hue Hin, which is before COVID, it was a very touristy place. Near the beach, very beautiful. But now I've moved to a place called Khon Kaen for a bit, in the middle of absolutely nowhere. As I do video, there's loads of fields, loads of this. No one really speaks English around here, apart from a very few people. And I moved here, and I was very excited to move here, and I'm very excited to have a lot of time to work on a lot of my dyslexia stuff. But to be absolutely transparent, it's been very challenging, because I thought I'd work really hard and be really good, but there's not a lot of structure. I'm not working yet because I came from Bangkok, and because I have a quarantine and all this stuff. I haven't been able to have a routine. For example, I start work at this time, I finish work at this time. Before in Hoi Hin, I did Thai boxing, I did this, I did that. I was very busy. And here it's the complete opposite. And so it's been challenging to do the right things, to work hard, to be focused, to do this, to do that. And it's a challenge, it's just a challenge that I'm overcoming. It's just I'm using each day as a learning process. Okay, I want the day to go like this, and I try my best to get the day to go like that, and when it doesn't, I learn from those mistakes. Okay, don't do that again, don't do that, try this. Use this as a strategy, focus on these couple of things, and don't do these two things to move forward, because I learn from a lesson and growing. Big thing for me is exercise, big thing for me is morning routines, big for me, these things I have to really instill, and have strong enough reasons to do them, so I feel very motivated. So anyway, for me, I'm gonna like say, look, I'm dealing with my own challenges, and like there are a lot of ways I can help them and help me solve them is by one, learning from my mistakes, and knowing what's most important to me, like okay, routine, like setting an example, okay, finding like strong enough reasons, okay, raising my standards, saying okay, I have to do these one thing or this two things, and it's like non-negotiables for me, and working on those. But also, I've learned all this stuff by obviously testing things on myself, but researching people, watching people, observing people. Reading loads of books, loads of this about how life works, how you can operate good, how you can be really efficient, and all these different things. And so, the point I really want to make here is that we learn from others who have been through very similar experiences of us and became successful. And what I'm really excited to talk to you guys about is that, so when we're going through these hard times, what makes us see this like light at the end of the tunnel is by seeing other people who've been through the same thing we're going through, or maybe even worse, and yet they've been through it, and yet they've done it, and yet they've got the thing that you want to get, yet they're at the position that you want to be at. And what you got to do, you got to learn what they've done and do the same thing. Learn from the same mistakes and model them. And use them as inspiration, use them as a role model, use them as someone who can prove that it's possible. And that's massively changed my life. Yes, with dyslexia, and also with quite the things I want to create. Like, I want to have a big life. I want to do a lot of things. I want to change the dyslexia industry for the better. So people are more concerned about, okay, what matters is me taking responsibility over my life and of what dyslexia means to me, not the fact that you've got to change the institution, change this, change that, change what it means to me. And that really matters. Because we can change the whole outside world, but there's one thing I live with, like, you can't wait for the world to change for you. You have to change for the world. You have to really understand, okay, how does life work in a sense? And understand that and use it to your advantage, and use it, like, understand how life works and how dyslexia works. And your life and your dyslexia are completely different things. If dyslexia is just a difference in the brain, your life is everything else. Also, you go through experiences like, okay, made fun of, made this, made that, and then you have these negative beliefs. But that's life. You have to understand how life works. So you start working life in a sense. And you've got to learn that through modelling. Got to learn that through having role models. Got to learn that through other people, through being passionate about it, and seeing that it's possible. Seeing other people who have grown up in really poor circumstances, think, okay, if they can do it, so can I. And that's why I remember getting the idea like about a year ago. I was like, what if you have the ultimate dyslexic summit and have people like the top, dyslexic advocates who have been through their own experiences, been through their own experiences, overcame them, succeeded in them, and now are spending a lot of the time and effort helping other people do the same. And it's not just dyslexics like in the education system. It's dyslexics obviously in the education system, adult dyslexic, found that dyslexia later in life, and really you had the struggles, but also worked the system, and now they has succeeded in a lot of areas, and now they can help others. Or parents with dyslexia, people growing up with parents, finding out that children are dyslexic and go through the whole process, which I know can be very hard and very, very taxing. I was like, okay, what if we get, okay, there's these three subsects, there's these three groups, find the best dyslexic advocates in each of those groups, bring them together and talk to them about, okay, what's their journey? What challenges did you face? What challenges are other people facing? How did you solve them? How could other people solve their challenges? And give you a step-by-step framework on how to solve it. And I spent the 6 months filming those. There's like a lot of work, a lot of good, amazing people, great relationships I made. And also, after we'd made it all and got the summit ready, I did these little clips. I sort of like interviewed people for 10, 15, sometimes 30 minutes. It was basically on my Instagram lives. And it was really great information. I did about 10 of them with a number of the speakers. So cool. But I've always been thinking, what if we can get such valuable information from people who have been through their own experience and had their solutions and had challenges and stay on their stories, and just put this here on the podcast just for you to listen in, just for you to add so much more value to. And like I said, it's in the three demographics: adult dyslexic, childhood dyslexia in the education system, or parents parenting like possibly dyslexic kids. And that process, and what's really valuable, they don't have it in the actual Instagram lives that want to post on this podcast, has it on the actual Dyslexic Summit, which I'll give you access to get to. But they have the step-by-step framework, and the end of that, a step-by-step framework on how to do the thing that they've done. You know what I mean? There's basically where to start, 3, 5, 10 steps. They basically do the core fundamentals that they did that you can do to help get the same or very similar result. So anyway, guys, that's kind of what I'm really excited about, and I'm trying to download these off of Instagram and get them working, but over the next days, weeks, months, I'll be trickling these out. These will be separate from my normal Conquering Dyslexia talks, where me just ramble on about stuff that's on my mind. These things will be a bit more separate and a bit more, after I've done my intro and now I've started getting outros I'm really excited about. But these things will be separate, just add a lot more value to it. I think I'm very excited for it, so I think it'll be really cool for those listeners in Conquering Dyslexia, and we'll add so much more value, and it'll be sort of this thing, so because no podcast, they can last. I mean, people listen to a podcast and then they like it, then listen to all the ones in the past. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking of. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I believe I have an outro of this video. It's my first outro I'm doing. I think it's about a black book that I'm really excited about. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you all again soon. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Now, I got something really exciting I want to share with you. Over the last 5 years, I've been absolutely obsessed with learning everything I can about dyslexia and how they can overcome their challenges and maximize their strengths. And I've been spending many hours on many days scouring the internet to find solutions to the problems. And I found many solutions. So over quarantine, I was thinking, what if I scour the internet again? What if I go through every last resource that I've been through before and take everything that's useful and put it into one place? And that's how I filled up a lot of my time in quarantine. I scoured the internet and found all the most inspirational, all the most informational, all the most useful videos about dyslexia out there, and put them all into one place, so you don't have to waste time scouring the internet to find solutions to your problems, so you know there's only one place to go. And this thing I created is called the Dyslexia Black Book. You can get it at conqueringdyslexia.net/black book. Now, I'm wanting to offer this to you and present this to you completely for free, because I want to save you time. I want to save you time, so scouring the internet and not finding the answers like I've done. If you go to conqueringdyslexia.net/black book, Conquering Dyslexia Black Book, you'll find it. Or guys, you can just click the link in this episode description to find it. But yeah, guys, that's the special message I wanted to share with you today.